Hello. Happy Tuesday. Look, sorry to be here so early with you, but I wasn't expecting this. We already have some hurricane closures. Looks like they closed the gym last night at 7 p.m. and doesn't look like they're going to reopen for a while. But there's not too horrible, but I do like doing my 2-mile walk inside. I'm on a streak, but I get it. It's better safe than sorry, but I don't think we're supposed to get the storm till late tomorrow night, so all right. Yeah, I just thought I would check real quick. Looks like this Planet Fitness is closed also. So notice the Belk here is already boarded up. That looks like the only business that's boarded up. Office Depot, I saw the workers going in. I grabbed Chick-fil-A. They're open today, all day, I believe. And they said they may close early tomorrow. And then the Starbucks, I grabbed some coffee. They're closing at noon today, and they're going to be closed all day tomorrow. Yeah, and the newest projections this morning say the storm's going to hit around 11 p.m. tomorrow night. But yeah, people are shutting down, so pretty wild. There's definitely one indicator that we got something going on. Let me show you this. So this Circle K here is, I think, one of the last spots to have gas. I think that Speedway is out of gas, and I passed several more places, but got a line of cars over there and a line of cars there. So that's really been part of the big story. I've seen a lot of these evacuation stories, and people are saying before they can even get very far away from where they're leaving, they're having trouble finding gas. So I think that's true here in Spring Hill also. Not that many places with gas left. It's eerily blue the sky. Of course, by tomorrow night, that's gonna be a different scenario. I figure while the sun is high and I have power and internet, let me go talk about cruising. So I'll give you some more hurricane updates and talk about the latest in cruising. I'll see you guys at the studio. Let's kick today's episode off talking about, of course, Hurricane Milton. It's 1:05 p.m. here in Spring Hill, Florida, and we're expecting landfall sometime tomorrow night, maybe like 11 p.m. on Wednesday. And as you saw from the opening sequence there's definitely stuff going on. I just went to lunch, and when I went to lunch, I went back to that Circle K that I showed in the opening, and they're out of gas. So the gas is gone there. No gas really in any of the gas stations within 5 or 10 miles from my house. I even talked to my mom who lives across town. She said they're out of gas across town also. Like I said earlier, it's been the big story of the evacuation. People have had the desire to evac, but they haven't been able to get gas. It's a wild situation, and it is so nice outside. That's the eeriest thing. It is so beautiful. I mean, I know we're a good 24 hours, 30 hours away from anything happening, but still, it's a wild scenario. I did, just for the sake of sanity, I did type in my address again to make sure what the status was for evacuation for us. We're far enough inland that our zone is still a no evacuation zone. The advice for us is still to hunker down and ride out the storm. I had lunch at Taco Bell today, and they had a sign posted that they're closing at 2 p.m. today. I think most of the businesses in town will be closed tomorrow, even though the storm's not expected to hit until late tomorrow night. And look, it really is a great thing that you can track a hurricane, that you can prepare for a hurricane, that you can decide whether to evacuate, or that you can do preparation for the storm. That's amazing. But at the same time, waiting for this massive storm to get here, it's a little wild. I'll just say that it's a little wild. I'll tell you, the scariest thing so far was watching the storm ramp up to a Category 5 hurricane yesterday. And I saw some of the stats that I believe it was recorded at 180-mile wind speed when it was a Cat 5. Now, fortunately, it degraded. It's expected to pick back up that strength again, but then there's going to be a wind shear that will possibly degrade the storm again. But all of the predictions are saying that when Hurricane Milton makes landfall tomorrow night, it will probably be as a Category 3 hurricane, which will be destructive enough. It's going to go straight across the state, and there will definitely be impact. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you are in the path of Milton, please pay attention to what is going on. Follow the guidance that you're being given. If you've been told to evacuate, if you're in a mandatory evacuation zone, please evacuate and be ready to hunker down. And hopefully by the time midday Thursday rolls around, this Milton will be exiting Florida, and we'll figure out what we do at that point. Certainly this Hurricane Milton is impacting everything in Florida, and it's also impacting cruise ships. I heard on my friend Doug Parker's show this morning, 17 cruise ships have been impacted by this storm. And so I'm not going to list them here, but go check out Doug's show. But also, if you are, you would know if you were planning on sailing out of Florida over the next few days. So make sure that you're in touch with your cruise line and your hotels and your airline to make sure what's going on there. A great reminder, a great time to think about having travel insurance. Along those lines, we did have a hotel booked over in Fort Lauderdale. We were supposed to be there tonight, so we had it for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It was a non-refundable, but in this extreme circumstance, they were very gracious to us where they gave us a refund. So that was pretty awesome. But if not, we did have travel insurance as a backup to that so that we could have made a claim. So 17 cruise ships impacted by Hurricane Milton. All 5 cruise ports here in Florida will be shut down. I think most of them shut down at midnight last night. They're shut down through tomorrow with some hope of them reopening on Friday. One cruise port in particular, Port Everglades, that's where the Sun Princess is trying to get into. They were going to come in today. They've been told that they cannot dock and that they may possibly be able to dock on Friday. There's people on that ship that have, came across on the transatlantic that probably need to get off that ship and go home. Certainly they wouldn't want to be doing that tomorrow. This is going to extend Sun Princess's cruise by a couple days. And then they're still, at this point, still having the media and travel agent cruise the 11th through the 14th, which starts on Friday. I don't know where I'm at in that scenario. We've got to see what happens with this storm and whether we're still even going to be able to go on that or try to go on that. Again, the cruising's kind of secondary right now for everything else. I think that's the hurricane update. I do have some other cruising things to talk about. We have a Royal Caribbean cruise that's been canceled out in 2025 in a surprising but not surprising way. And then we have some passengers on Carnival. They're a little upset because of their luggage, and a big announcement coming out from Norwegian Cruise Line that they partnered with a major sports league, and I'm pretty excited about that. Now, it is Prime Day on Amazon, which I don't even know what the evolution of Prime Day is, but it seems like a few times a year they put a bunch of stuff on sale, and I went looking for cruise stuff today. I didn't go too deep into it, but I did find some cruise things that I use quite often on cruises at a discount. First and foremost, I think everybody should use plastic luggage tags. I have in the past had to staple my luggage tags. I was always paranoid that they would come off. I love these luggage tags. I'm also excited to see my favorite power accessory, my 140 watt Anchor power supply, and also hooks. It's a good way to extend the storage in your cabin by bringing these magnetic metal hooks. And then I don't ever take these, but I know a lot of people do. There's even a sale on ducks that you can take on cruises. And it's not just cruising, there really are some great Prime Day deals out there. I'm gonna leave all of that linked up in the description. Those are affiliate links, so not only do you get a great savings on stuff that you might buy anyways, you also help out here at La Vida Loca, so a big appreciative thanks for that. Yeah, okay, the Royal Caribbean announcing that its cruise ship, the Voyager of the Seas, that was scheduled to cruise in the Middle East and Asia in November 2025, they're canceling those cruises. There continues to be trouble in the Red Sea that makes it not safe for cruise ships to be in the Red Sea. I'm assuming they waited till as long as possible. We've had Red Sea cruises, Suez Canal cruises canceled all throughout this year, but doesn't look like that situation is getting any better. Decided to cancel the November the 3rd and the November 17, 2025 sailings, and they've reached out to guests to offer them alternatives. We've already talked about Sun Princess not being able to get into Fort Lauderdale. And big announcement today that the NHL, the National Hockey League, has partnered with Norwegian Cruise Line in a multi-year partnership. And that now makes Norwegian Cruise Line the official cruise line of the NHL. And look, I'm trying to be as serious and as, just as serious as possible in the wake of everything that is going on. But I would be remiss if I did not give a big shout out to all of our Canadian friends, Canadian folks that watch the show, and just remind you all that, even though we've got Hurricane Milton coming to Florida, we also got the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup. Canada, when's the last time you've had the Stanley Cup in your country? Just kidding. Just a little fun ribbing, though. I've never even seen a hockey game here in Florida. I've never seen the Panthers or the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm just going to continue to say, let's go Predators. Nashville Predators. Is there a better hockey team? I wish they would have won the cup at some point. That would have made that claim even better. But look, I can bandwagon Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Lightning, right? I'm more excited about this NHL partnership than any of like the auto racing or anything else. So way to go, NCL. That's, you shoot, you score. This is a hat trick. You were onside. Whatever hockey jargon we want to say. Yeah. Any hockey fans out there? Who's your team? Leave a comment below. And look, just because I mentioned a premium Nashville sports team like the Nashville Predators, just know that there's no intention on my part of bringing up the fact that the unranked Vanderbilt Commodores right up the street from the Nashville Predators, right there on West End. No way do I plan on mentioning that the unranked Vanderbilt Commodores beat the #1 team in the nation this past weekend, the Alabama. I don't even care about college football, but it put a smile on my face when my brother, who is a big Alabama fan, no shade against my brother, I love him dearly, but when he came up to me at the gym early on Monday and he's like, "Did you hear the bad news?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "It's a sad day for the Tide, sad day for the Bama Nation." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Vanderbilt beat us." I'm like, "Vanderbilt? Those nerds?" There you go. How about the Commodores? It's enough to make you like sports. Roll Tide, roll. And now can we talk about luggage, and can we talk about a cruise passenger that was upset because Carnival Cruise Line failed to treat them like Thurston and Lovey Howe? A concerned Carnival cruiser wrote this message: "On our last cruise," it was the first Carnival cruise for us, "we were forced to live out of our suitcases and put them on our couch in our suite. This was on the ship Carnival Vista. It took up too much space. We were disappointed that the cabin steward did not offer to store our suitcases. This is a service that is offered on the blank, blank, blank. Carnival should offer this too if you want to stay competitive. Sailing on Miracle from Galveston next and sweet again. Is it possible to ask the cabin steward to store empty cases?" John Heald, the brand ambassador from Carnival Cruise Line, responds, "Thank you. And while I cannot comment about what happens on the Samsonite of the seas," go with John, "I do know that we do not have the storage space for this. We simply cannot take your suitcases. I think it is safe to say that most people will store their cases under their bed, right? Thoughts, please." What cruise line out there is taking your empty suitcases and storing them somewhere? I have never heard of thus. I've never heard of it at all. The rule of thumb, or everything I've always known about cruising, and look, I've only been cruising for 7 years. I've done a few, but I'm not as experienced as everybody. Is there a cruise line out there that will actually take your suitcases and store them in another part of the cruise ship? Most of the time you just stick them under the bed. Again, this is one of those fantastical ones that I don't believe. I don't believe that the hoity-toity sweet people that wrote this letter opened the top of their suitcase and lived out of their suitcase for a week in their suite because they couldn't figure out what to do with their suitcases. Now, I have watched that show Below Deck, that fancy yacht show where they actually, the room stew will actually unpack your suitcases. And I've never gone high end. I've never been on a cruise that had a butler or anything like that. But does that happen? Anybody that's highfalutin out there? Anybody had it where the actual room steward unpacked your bags? I know what we could do. We could consult with an expert. Yeah, we've got access to expert. Hey, what's up? That's right. Look, everybody, Jim Backus. Well, we could call him Mr. Magoo. Hey, Mr. Magoo, what do you think? Who's right? Who's wrong here? The guests, the people that paid their money in the suites, should they have their requests accommodated? Should Carnival be taking everybody's luggage to somewhere else on the cruise ship? Or, it's a big or, is that request just ludicrous? Shout out ludicrous. It would be better if he talked. I don't know, maybe I am losing it a little bit waiting for this storm to arrive. We got live shows tonight, so come on if you want. The Patreon show is at 8 p.m. for people that are part of our Patreon community. And then we've got the YouTube show at 9 p.m. And we'll probably be talking about the hurricane. Thank you for watching the show today. Please hit the like button on your way out. If you want more of this fun and frivolity, subscribe. Thank you so much. This is Tony for La Lido Look. Until next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.